The Iraqi dinar today latest news. For a moment, imagine the incredible possibility of an entire nation's currency, the very foundation of its financial sovereignty, undergoing a radical transformation that sees its global standing dramatically elevated. This is the compelling, unfolding narrative of the Iraqi dinar, a currency long scrutinized and often undervalued on the international stage, which is now positioned at the center of a monumental national reform project. We are witnessing a phase of intense preparation within Iraq's financial landscape, setting the stage for what many consider to be a major adjustment in the dinar's value. This is not a distant, theoretical concept, but a tangible progression rooted in policy and technological advancement, designed to stabilize an economy that has historically grappled with immense external and internal pressures. The changes being implemented by the financial authorities are profound, indicating a decisive move towards a more robust, controlled, and internationally integrated monetary system. This comprehensive overhaul is essential for Iraq's long-term economic health and is the critical background to any serious discussion about the currency's potential revaluation. One of the most immediate and intensely debated questions swirling around this anticipated change concerns the practical mechanics of currency exchange once any revaluation event occurs. It is natural for people, particularly those holding the currency, to wonder about the limits, procedures, and restrictions that will govern the transition. While the Central Bank of Iraq (CBI) is expected to facilitate the exchange of currency holdings, the process must be managed to maintain market stability and prevent economic shock. Most financial experts concur that commercial banks, which will ultimately handle these transactions, are likely to implement daily withdrawal or exchange caps. These controls are a standard regulatory measure in any major monetary transition, serving as a crucial safeguard to prevent sudden, massive cash movements that could destabilize the liquidity of the banking system. The exact fine print will undoubtedly vary depending on the specific policies of the institution one deals with. But the overarching principle remains one of controlled, orderly progression throughout the transition phase. The core motivation behind these potential limitations is far more critical than simple logistics. It's about safeguarding the stability of the entire national economy. The goal is not merely to increase the nominal value of the currency, but to execute a financial maneuver that is both sustainable and beneficial to the broadest possible segment of the population. The Central Bank of Iraq is acutely aware that a rapid, uncontrolled surge in the money supply or an unmanaged flow of exchanges could undermine years of reform efforts. Therefore, the implementation of controlled procedures, like withdrawal limitations, is a strategic necessity to ensure a smooth, measured transition into the new economic reality. This controlled environment is paramount for building the long-term confidence required from both domestic businesses and skeptical international investors, signaling a government that is deliberate and responsible in managing its financial destiny. A significant pillar of Iraq's sweeping financial transformation is the commitment to a complete digital overhaul of the nation's banking infrastructure. The Central Bank of Iraq's strategy includes a decisive move away from outdated, cash-reliant systems and towards a modern, transparent digital platform. The most striking symbol of this shift is the announced plan to entirely discontinue the long-standing dollar auction platform by the end of the current year. This platform, which has historically been the mechanism for selling and converting US dollars, has been a source of financial leakage and disproportionate exchange rate fluctuation. Its permanent closure is massive news, signifying a final break from a system that fostered dependency and distorted the true market value of the national currency. This move is a prerequisite to achieving a unified, legitimate exchange rate. The central bank's clear intention is to aggressively combat and ultimately eliminate the parallel market, often referred to as the black market, exchange rate that has plagued the dinar for years, creating two distinct and problematic valuations. This dual, rate system has allowed unofficial traders to manipulate pricing and has been a persistent obstacle to legitimate commerce and investment. The final objective of the new digital architecture is to merge these two rates, aligning the official exchange value with the true supply and demand realities of the open market. Once the official and market rates converge and stabilize, the preconditions for a genuine, credible currency revaluation, one that is reflective of Iraq's actual economic strength and oil revenues, will finally be met. This is a critical milestone that will profoundly alter global perceptions of the dinar's stability. Understanding the impact of these changes requires stepping back and considering the everyday lives of the Iraqi populace. For years, the average citizen has been forced to navigate an economic landscape marked by frustrating instability, unpredictable prices, and limited, often complex, access to international financial mechanisms. The national government's ambitious reform agenda is specifically designed to dismantle this pattern of uncertainty. By pursuing digital innovation and strengthening the foundational principles of the banking sector, Iraq is attempting to construct a financial narrative that serves all its people, not just a privileged few or foreign entities. This represents an explicit governmental commitment to empowering its citizens with modern, reliable financial tools, effectively rewriting the contract between the state and the people regarding economic opportunity. Imagine the transformative power of being able to manage all personal finances, paying routine bills, securely transferring funds, or building savings through a safe, reliable application on a mobile phone, eliminating the historical necessity of waiting in long, inefficient bank queues. This is the practical, daily, life promise embedded within Iraq's new digital financial era. The vision is to leapfrog decades of inadequate infrastructure and bring banking into the 21st century. However, this level of comprehensive transformation demands more than just installing new hardware. It requires a deep, fundamental change to combat the historical challenges of an outdated banking sector, pervasive technological inefficiency, and a justifiable lack of public confidence that had been endemic for too long. The profound transformation in the banking sector is a testament to dedicated, focused leadership within the central financial institutions, particularly the central bank's management. In recent years, these key reform leaders have orchestrated a dramatic pivot. The strategic introduction of enhanced mobile banking services, the deployment of more user-friendly financial applications, and the implementation of online payment gateways are collectively modernizing the entire economic backbone of the country. This shift, which may appear to be a straightforward technological upgrade on the surface, carries a far deeper societal and economic significance. It is a calculated effort to rebuild the essential foundation of public trust in the country's financial system and, most importantly, in the national currency itself. In the context of currency reform, trust is arguably the most valuable commodity. Without a fundamental belief in the reliability and future value of the dinar, no revaluation, however technically sound, can be sustained over the long term. This is precisely why the principle of digital transparency has become a central and non-negotiable component of Iraq's comprehensive reform program. By shifting transactions onto traceable digital ledgers, the opportunity for financial corruption, manipulation, and illicit activities is dramatically reduced. This digital strategy ensures that every single dinar is fully accountable, secure, and traceable through the financial system, elevating the standards of financial governance. The global financial community is watching this move toward unprecedented transparency with keen interest. When international investors observe demonstrable stability and a clear commitment to anti-corruption measures within a national financial system, they begin to see a genuinely attractive prospect, not just a risk. The inflow of foreign capital is a critical, self-re, enforcing dynamic for any successful currency revaluation. Such international confidence is not bought, it is earned through rigorous policy and verifiable transparency. Therefore, establishing this level of economic integrity is considered one of the most vital precursors that must be secured before any significant adjustment to the dinar's international exchange rate can be finalized and succeed. The current environment is generating significant market anticipation surrounding the potential for the Iraqi dinar to be liberated from its long-standing financial shackles and restrictions. For a considerable period, the dinar's full potential has been constrained by a confluence of internal regulatory issues and external international limitations, effectively suppressing its value. However, the central bank is now issuing strong, clear signals that it is preparing the ground for an unprecedented move toward full monetary independence and self-determination. This is a profound development that many experienced analysts interpret as the critical foundation, laying phase for a future rate adjustment, a revaluation designed to finally reflect Iraq's intrinsic market strength and its growing geopolitical importance. This movement is founded not on speculative conjecture or transient market rumors, but on the solid economic imperative that a genuinely powerful and increasingly stable Iraq requires a national currency to match. If the dinar's value is substantially adjusted upwards, the implications for the everyday life of the Iraqi people are considerable and positive. A stronger dinar translates directly into greater purchasing power for consumers, potentially stabilizing the cost of goods and services, making essential imports significantly cheaper and allowing household savings to increase in real, tangible value. For families and businesses alike, this means a better capacity to plan for the future with a newfound sense of economic security and confidence. For individuals both within Iraq and internationally who are holding the dinar, the focus naturally shifts to the impending operational procedures, specifically the logistics of how much can be exchanged and at what rate this will occur. As previously outlined, the banking sector will undoubtedly implement a set of protocols designed to ensure a balanced and orderly transition, primarily through the use of daily limits on cash exchanges or withdrawals. Crucially, however, these transitional constraints should be viewed as necessary technical measures that support the far greater economic objective: the establishment of a robust, self-sufficient, and powerful national economy that is truly independent on the world stage. These concerted efforts to modernize the currency and banking sector are intrinsically linked to a much wider, long-term strategic initiative within Iraq, known as the White Papers. This foundational document outlines a detailed, multi-year strategy focused on comprehensive financial stabilization, aggressive attraction of foreign direct investment, and, critically, the creation of mass employment opportunities across various sectors. The reforms outlined in the White Papers represent more than just a fiscal policy adjustment. They embody a national mission focused on empowering the Iraqi people from the ground up through economic opportunity and self-reliance. By aggressively pursuing the digitization of the entire economic ecosystem, Iraq is systematically opening up immense opportunities for a new generation of entrepreneurs, skilled technology developers, and countless small and medium-sized enterprises. When the general populace is equipped with readily accessible and highly reliable digital financial tools, it unlocks their potential to start new ventures, generate new jobs, and collectively build a more resilient and substantial middle class. This is the organic, grassroots mechanism through which strong, diverse national economies achieve true, long-term, and sustainable growth. The currency reform is therefore a vital component of this broader national development strategy. The strategic move toward a more technologically advanced, cashless, and digital banking system is not an isolated experiment. It is a direct alignment with a decisive global trend. Across the world, nations are rapidly adopting technology, driven financial systems, and Iraq is signaling a powerful commitment to avoid being left behind in this global paradigm shift. By embracing this trend, the country is actively opening its doors to international financial technology fintech innovation, encouraging the proliferation of local startup companies, and facilitating the development of sophisticated digital payment systems specifically customized for the unique needs of the Iraqi market. The true revolution in the making is not just the potential revaluation of the paper currency itself, but the fundamental reinvention of how the people of Iraq interact with and utilize their money in their daily lives. Envision indigenous financial applications, built and maintained by Iraqi technologists, specifically engineered for the unique dynamics of the local economy. This is the essence of true innovation, not simply adopting foreign models, but tailoring a digital finance ecosystem that empowers local talent and addresses local needs, fundamentally changing the nation's economic behavior and accelerating financial inclusion. Before this ambitious digital and monetary vision can be fully realized, the central bank must successfully execute one paramount mission: permanently dismantling the detrimental influence of the unofficial parallel market rate. This black market has long acted as a powerful counter force, undermining the central bank's official currency policies and allowing shadowy operators to manipulate exchange rates for illicit gain. The central bank's current aggressive efforts are squarely aimed at creating a complete, sustained convergence between the official exchange rate and the true, prevailing market value. Once this alignment is achieved and the rate is demonstrably stable, the planned revaluation becomes not only viable but a logical and sustainable conclusion to the reform process. This unification will send an unshakable message of policy commitment to the entire global investment community. This economic narrative is profoundly connected to the emotional and social fabric of the nation, sparking a deep and widespread sense of renewed hope among the populace. For years, countless Iraqi citizens have grappled with the relentless pressures of high inflation, chronic unemployment, and a general climate of economic uncertainty. The continuous depreciation of the dinar only served to compound the difficulties of daily existence. However, the comprehensive and rigorous changes now being implemented are rekindling optimism. The government is actively working to engineer a new national environment where genuine economic independence replaces old dependencies, where definitive transparency eradicates the historical specter of corruption, and where cutting-edge technology supersedes cumbersome, outdated bureaucracy, mapping a clear path to a far brighter financial future. The profound transformation in the currency and financial system is not unfolding in isolation. It is deeply interwoven with Iraq's broader push for social and national cohesion. Key national leaders have recently emphasized that unity among the diverse Iraqi population is absolutely vital for economic progress, asserting that diversity itself is a foundational strength. In this context, economic reform and national unity are inextricably linked, forming a mutually reinforcing cycle. A nation that stands together and demonstrates a unified vision is far more attractive to foreign investment, builds internal and external trust more effectively, and is ultimately best equipped to achieve enduring financial and governmental stability. Picture the future: an Iraq where every single citizen can access and operate their bank account via secure, seamless digital platforms, execute global fund transfers with ease, or launch and manage an online business from anywhere. Envision a time when global investors view Iraq not as a territory defined by risk, but as a land ripe with compelling, untapped economic opportunity. This is the ambitious, long-term vision driving the current transformation. It represents far more than a simple numerical change to an exchange rate. It is a fundamental shift in the national mindset, a new, collective belief that Iraq possesses the ability to compete, innovate, and thrive alongside the world's most advanced and prosperous economies. Furthermore, the successful execution of this massive financial transformation is poised to generate significant ripple effects that will extend well beyond Iraq's national borders. Neighboring countries, along with major regional and international investors, are all carefully monitoring the progress of Iraq's digital revolution and currency reform. Should Iraq successfully achieve its goals, it is positioned to become a definitive regional model for comprehensive, successful financial reform. This success could ultimately pave the way for strengthened regional partnerships, boosted trade volumes, and expanded collaboration with a range of international fintech corporations, significantly reinforcing Iraq's global standing and influence. Understandably, a certain degree of skepticism persists among some observers regarding the ultimate certainty and timeline of the dinar's revaluation. And in finance, healthy skepticism is always warranted. Yet, a comprehensive view of the evidence, the radical modernization of the national banking sector, the aggressive digitalization of payment systems, the strict regulation of currency flows, and the systematic closure of the black market's influence, all overwhelmingly points toward a nation systematically and comprehensively preparing for an event of major financial significance. It is increasingly less a question of if a fundamental change is on the horizon, and more a matter of when these prepared foundations will support the ultimate transition. And yes, once this pivotal economic transition takes effect, it is a near certainty that banks will institute daily limits on exchanges and cash withdrawals. This is a standard, prudent precaution, absolutely necessary for robust liquidity management and to ensure the overall stability of the financial system. But this critical operational detail should never be allowed to overshadow the immense, far-reaching objective at hand. The primary overarching goal of this entire painstaking process is the achievement of genuine economic equality and lasting financial empowerment for all Iraqi citizens. When a nation's sovereign currency is strengthened, universally trusted, and reliably transparent, the economic benefits accrue to everyone, from the daily wage earner to the ambitious entrepreneur and the seasoned international investor. The extraordinary story of the Iraqi dinar is ultimately far more than a technical accounting of numbers and exchange rates. It is the compelling narrative of a national economic renaissance. After enduring decades marked by instability and systemic disruption, Iraq is forcefully and methodically taking back complete control over its own financial destiny. Crucially, this time, the comprehensive changes are supported by a powerful combination of cutting-edge technology and meticulously crafted national policy. The nation is strategically incorporating vital lessons learned from global financial trends, while simultaneously forging its own unique path toward fiscal independence. These far-reaching reforms, currently being enacted with precision and determination, may very well be remembered by future generations as the definitive turning point in the modern economic history of Iraq. As the calendar year draws to a close, the financial world's attention remains laser-focused on the operational movements of the Central Bank of Iraq. The definitive decision to dismantle and replace the old dollar auction system signals the commencement of a brand new economic chapter. The foundational preparations, including the development of a digital currency platform, the implementation of tighter banking regulations, and the establishment of stronger, more accountable national financial policies, are all actively setting the stage for what many informed observers believe will be the single most important and consequential financial event in Iraq's contemporary history, the much anticipated and comprehensive revaluation of the dinar. The sheer scope of this groundwork confirms one thing without a doubt: the foundation is being poured right now. So, what precise actions should people anticipate in the immediate months ahead? The focus must remain on continuously monitoring official announcements from the central bank regarding the continued advancement of the banking sector, the rollout of new mobile financial systems, and essential regulatory updates. It is vital to remain thoroughly informed, exercise judicious caution, and fully grasp the reality that transitions of this magnitude are complex, requiring significant time to fully materialize. Substantial change is not instantaneous, but when it finally arrives and is executed correctly, it inevitably rewards those who have demonstrated preparation, patience, and unwavering vigilance. The most sensible strategy today is to maintain a state of readiness, staying alert, informed, and continuously prepared for the next significant development. As we conclude this in-depth report, it is crucial to internalize this single, powerful theme. Iraq's arduous but determined journey toward complete financial independence transcends being merely a story about a currency's exchange rate. It is, at its heart, a powerful testament to the nation's profound and enduring resilience. Every announced reform, every policy update, and every technological implementation represents a deliberate, measurable stride toward a stronger, more secure future. Continue to follow the progression closely, because the world is watching, and the next pages of financial history are actively being written in dinars. We are committed to providing you with the real, factual updates that truly matter in this evolving narrative. This is your essential resource, the Iraqi Dinar Today latest news, and we remain dedicated to meticulously breaking down the factual developments that underpin this historic revaluation story. Share this information with anyone else who is closely following Iraq's journey. Let us continue to observe and analyze as Iraq systematically builds an economic future where its national currency, and more importantly, its resilient people, finally ascend to the full measure of their collective potential.